Okay, so welcome everyone to this deep dive. And today we are going to be talking about something pretty major. The big news, of course, is that Trump is back in the White House.
Back again?
Back again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I guess, we kind of knew what to expect, but maybe not right out the gate like this, with
Yeah.
all the stuff that's happening with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind.
It's crazy. So we've got this article here that lays out all the details, and it really is like a rapid fire, series of events, like bam, bam, bam. And it's all kind of pointing in one very clear direction, which is that things are going to be very different with Trump back in charge.
No doubt about that.
So we're going to take a look at all this, break it down for you, and try to figure out what it all means for Ukraine, for the U.S., and, well, for the rest of the world, too.
Big picture stuff.
Right, exactly. So where do we even begin with all this?
Well, I think the most striking thing is the speed at which Trump is moving.
Right.
It's like he's trying to undo everything from the last few years and put his own stamp on things as quickly as possible.
And he's not wasting any time, that's for sure.
Nope.
So let's talk about some of these specific moves that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things that really caught my eye was the appointment of Tulsi Gabbard as the director of intelligence.
Yeah, that raised some eyebrows for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Gabbard's history is pretty well known at this point. Her stance on Syria, those meetings with Assad and all that. It's like, whoa, what does this mean for how the U.S. is going to approach intelligence gathering now with Russia and Ukraine at the forefront?
It's a huge question mark.
It is.
I mean, you've got people saying this is a sign that Trump wants someone who's, less hawkish, maybe even sympathetic to Russia's perspective. But then you've got others who are like, wait a minute, her past positions could totally cloud her judgment, lead to biased assessments and all that.
Right. It's a big gamble.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's the new defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. Yeah. I mean, his comment about Ukraine maybe having to cede territory to Russia to end the war. I mean, wow.
That was a bombshell.
It was like a total shock to everyone.
Yeah.
Especially to NATO.
Yeah. I mean, NATO was founded to counter Soviet expansionism, and here's the new defense secretary basically saying, well, maybe we should just let Russia take a chunk of Ukraine and call it a day.
It's like a complete 180 from decades of U.S. policy.
It makes you wonder, is this administration really willing to just throw Ukraine under the bus to make a deal with Putin?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And then there's that phone call, the 90-minute call with Putin right after Trump takes office.
Yeah, what was said on that call?
We don't know exactly.
Right.
But it definitely sends a message,
It does.
And then you've got those Truth Social posts where Trump is talking about maybe going to visit Putin.
Oh, yeah. Remember that.
Yeah. And it's all very casual. The tone, the way he's talking about it, like it's no big deal. And I think that's all very deliberate,
Yeah.
He wants to project this image of being buddy-buddy with Putin.
Yeah.
Reset the whole dynamic between the U.S. and Russia.
Totally.
But isn't this all just appeasement?
Well, some people would say that.
Right. I mean, giving in to an aggressor's demands to avoid conflict, isn't that what we're seeing here?
It's a tough call to make right now.
It is.
I mean, we've got to look at everything together, right? We've got the prisoner swap with Mark Fogel being released and the White House presenting that as a gesture of goodwill. So is that part of a bigger strategy?
Yeah.
Negotiation and compromise?
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
Definitely.
So what does all this mean for Ukraine? I mean, are we abandoning them?
I don't think we can say that for sure just yet, but the signals are definitely mixed.
They are.
On one hand, there's a chance for a negotiated settlement, which would be great, but then there's also the worry that all this is going to make Putin even bolder,
Right, embolden him to escalate the conflict.
Exactly. It's a really tricky situation.
So it sounds like we're basically in uncharted territory here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Trump is clearly changing the game, and nobody knows how it's going to play out.
It's like watching a high-stakes poker game unfold in real time.
That's a great way to put it.
And the stakes are incredibly high. We're talking about the future of Ukraine, the stability of Europe,
Yeah,
the whole global balance of power.
exactly.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
So for everyone listening, we've laid out the major developments here.
Yeah.
But the story is far from over. So what should you be watching for as this all unfolds? Well, for one thing, how are other world leaders going to react to all this? Will they go along with Trump's vision, or will this create some major cracks in the international order? That's the big question, and it's something that we're all going to have to keep our eyes on.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned, because this is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah, buckle up.
This is going to be a wild ride.
For sure.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.